Hello. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to the live session. We'll wait for some more time so that more people can join. Hi. Hi everyone. Materials we will be using watercolor paper and normal watercolor and water, of course, and some round brushes, small size, any size, size 4 to 6 will do, or anyone with smaller size also for little detailing. So I'll be using MENORAH's sketchbook. I have done one sketch earlier in this, and this is actually 180 GSM, this sketchbook, but this also works well with this kind of sketchy watercolor, but I'll be doing on this, which is 300 GSM, this big one. So you can either do it on 180, 200 or 300 GSM. It will work well because it's there are no such wet on wet technique. I won't be using much of that, but so it will work on both. I hope my voice is clear. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. And I'll show you the reference picture also. So this is the reference picture I'm going to use. Okay, thank you Art Beauty. Okay, so hi everyone. Let me first introduce myself. So my art account is List Shades. You can check my work on my account if you haven't checked yet. So I will be painting a little girl, a portrait of a little girl, which will look something like this, and I will be using this sketchbook from MENORAH, and you can use any watercolor with basic shades, and we'll start by pencil sketch and then followed by the coloring. Yeah, so I'll just start it now. If you are painting along with me, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I'll just concentrate on the painting part right now, and then I'll clarify your doubt if you have any. Yeah, okay, so let's start. For the first thing to do is to sketch, and I'll be sketching not in very detail, but at least the facial features I'll be sketching in detail. So first of all, I have to figure it out where I need to place my composition. So it will be mostly in the center. So I'll just draw a little faint line because the face is straight. Then I'll be defining the size of the face. And the sketching part you can do a little hit and trial. If it required, you can erase some part and then redraw it. So it's important to place the facial features correctly during sketching. So since it's a straight face, I'll be drawing a guideline for the eyes as well, and for the nose, and then for the lips. On the eyes and the eyebrows, and I'm doing it very faintly. I don't need too much of dark lines here. And since it's she's a baby girl, I need to add a little bit of this cheeks, and I'll remove this lower part. So I'll be yeah, so the basic face is done. Then I'll add a little bit of hair, and a little flower if you want. And then I'll add the hand positions. So little bit of rough lines, if it is present, you can erase it later, so don't worry about that. The proportion has to be correct. Now the other hand. Since this has a flower here, I don't need to draw the details of this hand. I'll just add a little bit of flower here. And then these details you can do it directly in color. Don't need to draw too much. Yeah. I need to erase this lines, this guidelines. You need to erase it before you start coloring. She looks a bit older than the original picture, but that's fine because this portion is has become a little longer than the original picture. If you want, you can change it, but I will keep it this way only. Yeah, I think the sketching part is done. Now we can start with the coloring. So for the coloring, I'll be using all the basic colors. Like if you see the original picture, I'll just show you. If you see, it has all bright shades of green, whereas I have used a little bit of pale colors. So you can choose the colors as per your liking. And I'll be starting from the face part, and then I'll be moving on to the background and other details. And for the skin color, usually I use a bit of orange and I dilute it. And if you want, you can use a little bit of red color. And never forget to try your color before applying. So I'll be using a waste paper for that. Just a minute. So first I'll be trying a very diluted orange color on the face. So without thinking too much, just add a little bit of faint orange color. Yeah. Then the same color with a little bit of thicker consistency I'll add here. Yeah, sure. So my palette is a bit messy, so it's difficult to see. This is the orange shade and I'm just diluting it here, and then I'm checking it on a different paper like this. Yeah, this is a bit thicker, but for the face, for the starting layer, I'm using a thinner version of that, something like this. So while this surface is wet, I'll be adding the shades. So little bit on the sides and on the corners of the eyes, a bit near the nose. Since the light is falling this way, so this part will be lighter and this part will be shaded. So wherever there is a shade, you can just start adding this concentrate color. Then similarly you can do the same thing on the hand. A faint orange color, and then gradually add the shaded part. Since this is a 300 GSM watercolor paper, it will take time to dry up. It will hold the water, so you can play with the shading part for a bit longer. Now half of this hand is inside this grass area, so it won't be visible. I'll be covering up with the grass layers. Yeah. And then a little bit of this details. We'll be adding the eye details and all a bit later when everything gets dried properly. The darker details we'll add later. At this stage you can add a little bit of brown color, or if you want to mix your own shade color, you can mix a little bit of blue to the orange shade and add to the shaded areas. Yeah, so the basic facial detail. Then we can add the hair. For the hair, I'll be taking burnt sienna and a bit of yellow color on that, because the lighter parts, first I need to color the lighter parts. So roughly I'll add this lighter part. Yeah. Then I'll add a little bit of dark burnt sienna or burnt umber if you have. Yeah. And use a thinner brush this time with a pointed tip. Any brush with a pointed tip you can use for hair. Just loosely you can paint the hair. While painting the hair, always keep your hand very loose, so that you'll get this kind of lines, smooth lines. Then you can add a little bit of blue color to it, or you can add diluted black. to the most darker areas, all the darker areas. And in between, if there are few white patches, if you can keep it, then that will look better. Like in this portion, there are white patches which will show the lighter parts where the sunlight is falling. It's almost white. Yeah. Now I'll let this areas to dry up a bit, then we'll add further dry strokes. Now I'll be doing this her dress. It's mostly white, but I'll add only the shaded parts. Little bit of here, so I'm adding only blue color. You can take a lighter version of ultramarine blue or cobalt blue. Here I'm using a mix of cobalt blue and ultramarine. I think it's already there in my palette, so I'm using that leftover shade. Yeah. Now let's do the background part. The background, if you want, you can play with the bokeh effect, or you can just loosely you can paint it with different shades of green. And since it's behind, I'll be using some cooler shades of green, like green mixed with a little bit of blue. So I'll take this shade, which is Viridian, or you can just mix a basic green with a little bit of blue. You'll get that cooler version. So I have diluted that color, and I'll roughly put it behind this figure. And I'll just apply some loose strokes, and with clean water I'll be blending it. So while coming near to the figure, you can take some, while this surface is wet, you can take some darker color and then apply here. And while applying, keep a little distance from this so that some white space can be retained. For this final lines, I'll be using a white fine liner, white gel pen, so don't worry about that. You can play with the foliage and other details. You can add any shades of green to make it look like trees and shrubs and anything like that. So I'm creating a little darker areas near this girl, and then I'm blending it outside. Some darker green. Now I'll take a light green. You can mix yellow and sap green to do this background of this field. So roughly just put this light green color all over. Yeah. Then while it's wet, you can add a bit of concentrated green color. Then you can keep on adding till you are satisfied with the grass texture. And at this point, while this portion is getting dried, I'll add those two florals, or more than two florals actually. We'll take some yellow color and put here. So it's a very loose style, so you can play with the looseness. You don't have to worry much about the exact detailing. Play with different florals, different colors. There's a small bunch of flower here also. I'll add some purple flower because I want to. Just take a bit of purple. Just add roughly, you can add a little bit like this. here also. And then take some green color and add a bit of leafy things here. If you want a little brighter shade, then add yellow color. Add some stems to the florals and some leaves as well. You don't need to define it very clearly. Just put some dots and lines. Yeah. Now this surface is almost dry, so I'll put some dry strokes for the grass. And then I'll add some dark green color inside, just like this. Just a bit of darker color to show the shaded areas in between the grass. And then you can just take clean water and blend it like this. Now since this surface is also dried, we can paint the eyes and the lips. So I'm mixing a bit of burnt sienna and a little bit of black color to get that darker burnt umber shade. I don't really use black because it's better to use a lighter shade. Then if required, we can darken it. So take a thinner brush and just do the upper part of the eye. And while painting this, if you can keep a white space in between, it's okay. Otherwise you can add a white dot later. And the eyebrows, always use a lighter shade because since it's a baby girl, you don't need to add a lot of makeup. So to make it look natural, you need to use very light colors. And always be careful while painting the nostrils, because these are the things which can make or break face. And for the lips, you can take a light pink color or light orange color, because here also we will not be painting the entire lips in very dark color. We'll just add a thin layer on the upper part of the lips and we'll drag it from the corner and we'll leave this space blank so that it will look like the light is falling on it. And just below the lips you can add a little darker shade of the skin color just to show the shade. And since the hand posture is like this, you'll get a shaded area here also. Keep a very light hand because the whole painting is very light. Gradually you can add shadows wherever you want later. So when you are taking the colors also, you can take a little bit of color and then you can add up later. Now you can just look at it and check whether any other areas need some shadings. Like here the hair is falling like this, so this area will also have some shade. So I'll be putting a bit of shade here. And this folded part of this dress also needs some shaded areas. Now I can blend this with the clean water. And then you can add some other details wherever you want. The basic portion is done. Now it's all about detailings. You can change the dress color, you can change the hair color a bit if you want, but I'll keep it like this. Now I'm adding a bit more green here, a bit darker, so that my white lines will look better. I hope you guys are enjoying, and if you have any doubt you can write it. I'll read all the comments later. I'm just concentrating on the painting right now. You can use a white gouache for this hair also, or you can use a white pen. This portion is almost done. Now take this white gel pen. The surface is still wet. So thank you so much all of you for watching. Yeah, this white lines, this will make it look prettier. Don't go too hard on detailing. I mean, in loose style, if you skip few details, that's also fine. I hope it looks all right to you. Now a bit more color here. Yeah, I think it's done. It doesn't look exactly same, but the vibe is there. I mean, these two, if you see, she's the older sister of this girl. Okay, so yeah, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me, and I'll be saving this live here on the IGTV section of MENORAH Stationery. If you want to refer it later, that you can do. And if you want to check my other works, you can go to my profile. This is my ID, Liz Shades. I hope you have enjoyed the session. And if you guys don't have any questions, I'll just run the sketchbook for you. If you want to see this MENORAH sketchbook, I'll show you. Thank you so much, Art Beauty. I'll just show you this sketchbook where I have done a little bit of practice works, some portraits. These are some landscapes. Thank you so much. This is the same painting, and these are some practice sketches. Yes, this live session will be saved here on MENORAH Stationery IGTV section. So these are few sketches which I have done recently, and this is on 180 GSM sketchbook. I was not expecting it to be that good for watercolor. It's actually for it's multimedia, but this watercolor also worked really well. So these are all the sketches I have done recently, and some more I will do. Thank you so much. I'm getting so much love for this BTS series these days. So thank you so much. You will be seeing a lot more in future too. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. And thank you. This is another sketchbook, which is some of the work I have shared and some are not shared. So these are some landscapes I had done, and since this is a 300 GSM paper, all the heavy detailings can work. So all kinds of work is done on this sketchbook. Thank you so much. You can come to my profile, and if you have any doubt later also you can ask me there, and I'll be doing more sessions, and I'll be sharing some process videos and work later. Yeah, so this is by far my favorite sketchbook. Yeah, so let me just show the today's painting, and then I'll be closing. Thank you so much, everyone. Where is that? Yeah, so bye bye guys. Thank you for joining in, and I hope you all had a wonderful time. And if you who is jealous, you can do it too. Absolutely no problem in doing. It's just the practice and passion. Thank you so much. And if you want to recreate this, if you want to share it, you can tag me and MENORAH, so that we can see, and we will be sharing with in our stories. Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Even I had a lovely time. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Thank you. Those are little time taking. Otherwise I would have done a BTS sketch here also, but I'll do sometime later if I can. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Do connect with me. Thank you.